Hello there. Good evening. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I want to come in here and talk to you about what's been going on with Silicon Valley Bank and the effect on your business that you would need to know. And it may not be, maybe you haven't started a business, but I do want to discuss this from a different point of view and from a different angle from everybody that's been reporting. And I've kind of, been hearing some things about it. But this is what I want to say to you. About all of this. First of all, some of you, if you don't know what happened, is the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed today, and the FDIC, which is only $250,000 insured for each potential depositor in their bank. And this is kind of like this. They're saying that this is one of the failures, like from it's it's like history is repeating itself from 2008. And the reason why I can relate to this so well about the crash in 2008 and what was really going on, because I remember my business had its ups and downs during around that time too as well. But it was the housing crisis. Now this time it's going to be a little something different for everybody. But either way, it doesn't feel good. So I want to talk to you about some things that I can just, it's like deja vu a little bit, but things that I want you to really, really think about, and don't get too comfortable and complacent about what's really going on and not going on about this. But you definitely want to be, just listen to me, and I'm gonna give you the breakdown, the information that I've researched, and it came from the sources. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that and just kind of get you to understand where I'm coming from, and to get you to see that, first of all, cryptocurrency is pretty much financed through the Silicon Valley Bank, and I'm sure that the stocks and everything else will definitely take a hit, and you definitely will see some concerns when it comes down to that. Now, let me just read a little bit of this information that I want to share with you. The Silicon Valley Bank, the regulators said, Friday that, one of the banks, and I'm going to read you the FDIC's, information too, that the depositors will get their money, but I know when I read it earlier, the FDIC will have it set up in another account, and then the depositors will be able to get their money starting Monday. I think they said by Monday morning. And there's a couple of businesses that I was very interested in, interesting to know, put it that way. Romney Manuel, he was the owner of one of the business, and it was a private equity fund, and it had all kind of different products and things that they sold for when it comes down to the financial side of it. It says on Friday, the Silicon Valley Bank, a lender to some of the biggest names in the technology world. And the reason why I want to stress this to you about the technology world, now a lot of our businesses is very much, we get the fastest growth through this advanced technology now, how all of the things and all of the things that we can do. And it may cost you more in the future since all of this has happened. And then maybe also you don't have as many options, and things may be, they may be a little tight. And then another thing that's going to be affected is going to be business lending. Watch what I tell you now. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe this because I remember in 2008, funding was dried up. I mean, it was drying up, and because the banks knew the information wasn't out like it is so fast now. I think that they've learned their lessons from 2008, and the FDIC is acting a little faster than they used to or than they did in the previous years, right? So I do remember the bank freezing on the business credit and other loans. And I was just like, things that my business back then was getting approved from in the business sector. And I was like, okay, funding back then is like, although it was a little different, then also I was hearing that, banks are not lending right now because of A, B, C, or D. And because I talked to one of the loan officers at the bank that I was banking with, for as a credit card, even a credit card is concerned, and they said that their lending guidelines had changed. So don't be surprised if lending guidelines will change. So this is what I'm telling you. If you are thinking about doing something, not saying you have to rush, but I'm just saying that don't just think that I'm gonna get up tomorrow and things are, I can wait, I can put it off. Stop procrastinating, because the economy and the way of doing business is about to get real for you. It's about to change. So you need to start working on some things, whether it's your personal credit, whether it's your business credit, whether it's, even starting out launching that business, or, that extra source or that extra stream of income, because somebody in the world is buying it. Although the United States is the where it is, it's not the end of the world. Okay. So I want you to prepare yourself in that area, not trying to scare you, but it's trying to get you to think a little bit more and just really, really start being disciplined, getting out there and begin to make things happen for yourself. Okay. So back to what I was reading a little bit too, it triggered, it triggered me when I read that part. Okay. Now it says, the Silicon Valley Bank, a lender to some of the business name and technology in the technology world, became the largest bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis. The move put nearly 175 billion customers' deposits under the control of the FDIC. And I mentioned that to you, and I'll read you what they're saying, that the FDIC is saying that what they're going to do by Monday. And it says, here's what we know so far as this develops. And this was kind of like from an article earlier. And it says the regulators are taking over the bank. And it says the California Department of Financial Protection and the Innovation shutting down Silicon Valley on Friday, less than 2 days after the bank tried to persuade clients not to pull their money over concerns it was running low on available cash. The regulator appointed the FDIC as the receiver. So, and then in the information for the FDIC, it was saying that the FDIC wrote a press release. They wrote that press release on Friday. Okay, and they wrote it, which was still today. Well, it's late in the evening for me. So they said here in the immediate press release, they basically, I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm just going to highlight some things in here that you need to know. But also, if it's going to tighten up, because I'm sure that the businesses that are dealing with the Silicon Valley Bank, they are going to be very concerned about their future access to cash, not only their cash, but access to other funding that they could have loaned them, they could have loaned out. Because I think they have so many, for every deposit that the banks have, this is all banks, for every so many dollars, I think it's $10. Like if somebody has 1,000, they can lend out 10,000 of that depositor's money into that particular bank. So this is why it's just all oh anyway, let me get, because I had a friend of mine that he reached out to me early, and he was saying he and his wife were he says that they are a company that they had like 4 or 5 stores, and they said that a company that they had done business with couldn't even make payroll for their people today. That was today. They have a 247 million. I'm sorry, $427 million payroll. Woo. Okay. That's what he texted me that early and was saying that. And then it's like yeah. And so he said that, and that's why he and his wife have multiple account for businesses, which, because the FDIC only insures $250,000. That's really a no brainer. And it says, said they try. Oh, his wife tried to transfer some funds. I guess the companies that they're franchised with, maybe they couldn't. He says, and they couldn't transfer for any money today. So I mean, the thing is getting real, people. So, but anyway, I wanted to share that with you too. And also, let me go ahead and continue in giving you a little bit of information on this immediate release. It says um, to protect. Okay, it says, okay, first, let me go from the beginning. The Silicon Valley Bank, Santa Clara, California, was closed today by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, which appointed the FDIC as the receiver. To protect insured depositors, the FDIC created the Deposit Insurance National Bank of St. Clair, and that's the DINB. And since at the time of closing, the FDIC as receiver immediately transferred to the Deposit Insurance National Bank deposits of the Silicone Valley Bank. So they, immediately took over, and it says by Monday, says all insured depositors will have full access to their insured depositors no later than Monday morning, March 13th, 2023. The FDIC will pay uninsured depositors an advanced dividend within the next week. So that means an advanced dividend. That's kind of like meaning, of their money that they are insured with. And then the uninsured depositors will receive a receivership certificate for the remaining amount of their uninsured funds. So anything that they have in the bank, this is basically what they're saying, is anything they have in the bank over $250,000, they will receive a certificate for that particular amount. And it says, as the FDIC sells the assets of Silicon Valley, future dividend payments may be made to uninsured depositors. So what this means is somebody's money is going to be tied up, and who's going to feel the effect? The consumer. Whether you're in business and you're kind of dealing on the level with them versus you, and then you may have to end up passing the cost on to your clients, because I'm sure things are going to change, but prices is going to change, and it's going to, it's going to really, this is something that is not going to happen overnight, but it's going to trickle down. I believe in my spirit, it's going to trickle down, and you need to know this. Okay. Now, and then also it says that according to the according to the FDIC says, as of December 31st, 2022, Silicon Valley Bank had approximately $209 billion in total assets and about $174.4 billion in total deposits. At the time of closing, the amount of deposit is excess of the insurance limits was it was undetermined according to this. And the amount of uninsured deposits will be determined once the FDIC additional information from the bank, obtains additional information from the bank and customers. So right now they just, going by what the book says right now. And they're going to be looking at their balance sheet real good. So that's basically, in layman's terms, that's what that means. That's what that's saying to you. Now, and like I said, back to what I was saying to you earlier about when it comes down to crypto, and in cryptocurrency is, like I said, the Silicon Valley Bank was one of the ones that was funding, anyone that was into, anything that was pertaining to that. And that means what everybody was telling y'all guys about the cryptocurrency, all of this, what's going to happen now. The game has changed, and it's going to be changing and evolving over and over, because I think Jerome Powell mentioned today, not today, he mentioned a few days ago that I think it was the 7th, he mentioned a few days ago, because I saw a clip of it earlier. He mentioned about the jobs market. And also they were also talking about it on CNBC. So they was talking about that then on Squawk Box too. I think it was talking about that, and then a few other research I done. I heard of them, mentioning this, and they were saying that he mentioned 2 million jobs will be lost at least by the end of this year. And I don't know whether you guys remember, there was a lot of, analysts or economists saying that, the economy, the recession was going to hit, but we ain't participating, remember? It was going to hit hard by the middle of 2023 and going into 2024. So now it makes sense when they mention about 2024. So we really, they were trying to like keep everybody leveled off and just really not getting them all in a uproar, because they were really they were seeing what was going on. The data was proving and showing to them what was really going on, but they don't want the world to panic. They don't want you to panic. So that's what's going on. So what I advise you to do is make sure that you got yourself together, prepared, whatever it is, however you want to move. Starting a business would be a great thing for you to do, it just in my personal opinion. And I believe in the opinion of the future, it will be great for you. And there's been so much good happening in the economy of uncertainties here. Now, let's see. Now, banks and financial institutions may be affected by this particular situation outside of what we just saw today, you know. And then also knowing this, that means credit will be tightening, I'm sure. And a lot of us now need the credit. We need the credit to grow our businesses. We need the credit to, order supplies and just do some things with it. And then although I know the government, it have different programs, because I've mentioned those to you, I am sure that, everybody is not going to benefit from that. So just don't, here again, now is the time to be extremely proactive, I'm telling you. Now, one of the other things is going to be for as e-commerce, people selling merchandise on e-commerce, and whatever it is, you got a Shopify store or you selling products, and technology is very heavily into that, and how, you can use it. And now they're going to definitely, that's going to probably be an area that's going to pass the cost on to you. And gaming has been very popular, within the last few years. It's really been doing extremely well, and that's going to be affected too. And also, let's not get, in a sense, for as real estate and the transactions and probably different things, contracts and how you move, and how it's so accessible and easy and just so convenient for you right now to do real estate transactions. I'm sure that's going to change for you. And then, certain things in healthcare, certain things in freelancing, and, how you receive payments from customers that are purchasing things from you. So all of this cost is going to go somewhere, and it probably won't be, but it won't go anywhere, but I'm sure it'll go to you or me in business. And then also, let's see, travel and hospitality, what might be the ones that be affected. Insurance, the way that you are more efficiency with your, with your even underwriting it with your insurance transactions. And then, logistics. So so many, everything is, tracking and the moving of goods and services. Everything is going to, and see, when the costs go up in certain areas, it always trickle down to the basic necessities that we need every day. Your food prices, gas prices, so many other things will be affected from this. So what my advice to you is to do something different, do something that's going to be very impactful for you. very your next level. I think I talked to you once before about using your skill set and creating your business, because you don't have to you don't have to try to work on anything else. You have it. You have a skill set, and you can possibly do freelance. You can possibly, establish your business and find those people that need your skill set and need what you have to offer and make it happen. That's all you have to do. And then also it says here, a movie, music and entertainment is going to is one of them. And it's how you just how the distribution of certain things like royalties to artists and creators, and then having efficient systems in anything dealing with music and entertainment, nonprofit organizations, the government. They have certain things, but I'm sure that the government will definitely find a way more so than you will, so. And then also you have sports. It says about the merchandising and services. There's so many things. Anywhere you can make money, and anything that helps you to make more money and make it more efficiently will probably be affected. And as far as prices going up, or something's going to change. And I want you to be ahead of the curve. So that's why I'm on here talking to you tonight about it. Just don't not pay attention to what just happened today. I do believe that it's something that we need to be alert of, talk more about, and make something happen for ourselves. And we not wait till they laying off 2 more million people. The unemployment rate is going up, and then everybody's in an uproar. And another thing I would advise you to do is, and I've got a space at my house that I can do this as well, and I'm talking to the choir right now, is learning how to grow your own food. Learning how to do that, because I've done that. I have been talking about doing that here lately myself, getting your fruits and vegetables, and also shopping. Let's see, shopping more at farmers markets. I think that'll be good. Yeah. And then we need to learn how to, I think, what I think what's happening, because I was about to say we need to learn how to eat better. But you know what I was thinking too? God is just trying to reset us, because we don't have sense enough to reset ourselves. I really believe that's what's going on. He's resetting us. And if you can do it voluntarily or involuntarily, I'm just the spokesperson. That one of the spokesperson he chose to do his will and do what he's gifted me to do. So that's what I'm here for. Okay. All right. Well, that's just my take on the whole situation, and the spin on how I feel in my spirit, that things that you should know about this whole ordeal that's happened. But in the days to come, I will be definitely talking more about it. And also, if you're not a part of the family, get on my text message. Text push the dream to 833-247-6465. Text push the dream to 833-247-6465. And we can you will be a part of the family, and you will be a part of anything I have coming up in the future. But we definitely want to address this further, okay? Because I do have a few other things. And then also you can explore. I do send you links for free things, free classes, free something to just educate yourself and to stay in the know of what's going on in the land of opportunity. Okay, that's what I'm here for. All righty, and I will talk to you on another video, and you have a beautiful day, or just have a beautiful existence. How about that? All righty, have a blessed one. Bye-bye.